Hello, beautiful ladies. Thank you so much for joining me last week at the Chamber Luncheon. And thank you for showing up and bringing your light and your wisdom and just yourself to help create a community where we can connect and share and, thrive, right? That's the goal, is to thrive. So last week we talked about work-life balance, and I wanted to share this little bonus video, literally bonus, because I have these really practical nuggets that I wanted to include. But I recognize that we did have a limited amount of time, and we can honestly talk about work-life balance, and I can share with you hundreds of tips and tools and things that we could do in the nuances and the minutia of our lives in order to create more presence, more quality, and to show it fully, right? So here's what I have. B, if we're talking about the word bonus, the B, it actually is twofold. So one, we have to be vulnerable and be honest with the people around us and be willing to say out loud, I'm overwhelmed. A lot of times, especially as women, we don't want to say I'm overwhelmed. We don't want to say those words because either we've been trained to believe that we have to do all the things, and if not, it means something about who we are as mothers or as employees or as leaders. And the other side of that is sometimes we just have some pride. Because of that training, we believe that we are less than if we don't check all the boxes all by ourselves, right? So we have to be willing to be vulnerable and honest about what our limitations are and when we are not just overwhelmed, but I feel like I might be headed in that direction, right? I have a sister, she has two small kids. One day she called me and said, I need a break. And you could hear the kids just like being kids in the background. So I headed right over there. And as soon as I started walking in, she walked out, got in her car and left. And afterward, when she came home, I said to her, we have to get better at not waiting until this breaking point to say, I am deserving and worthy of a break for my mental health and my sanity, right? So be vulnerable and be honest. Now, the other side of that is, and we talked about this in terms of knowing what our priorities and our core values are. Another way to use B could be block your time. I literally block my whole day is blocked. The morning is blocked for working out, for meditation, for that. The next part is blocked for my business stuff. Then I'm blocked for my coaching stuff. Then I'm blocked for time for my daughter. Then I'm blocked to run errands. And it sounds tedious, but I found that when I started blocking my day and really looking at how I'm distributing my time, because we talked about as well, show me your checkbook and show me your calendar and I'll show you what your priorities are. Because I know that when I take better care of myself, I'm better for everyone and everything in my life. I block my time top of the day for me. And then I get on with, other things that I have to do. And then I'm intentional about carving out time with my daughter when she gets home. Because again, I said that she's a priority. I feel that she's a priority. I want my life to reflect the reality that she is my priority, not just words that I'm saying. So be vulnerable and honest and be willing to block your time. Okay, on to you. O. So with the O, how much of your stuff on your to-do list can you outsource, right? Outsource what you can that is reasonable for you, for your budget, for your life. A lot of times we have control issues, she said to herself. And in having control issues, we don't want to outsource things because we think that we can do it better. And the reality is we might do it better, right? But it doesn't contribute to our sanity and it doesn't contribute to creating harmony in the quality of our lives. So when my daughter was younger, she didn't really do chores or anything. Like maybe she picked up her toys in her room. And as she got older, she had more and more chores. And did I stand over her and micromanage how she did them? Yes, I did. I'm not proud of that, but I did do that. And then I realized I have to release control because I'm just wasting double the amount of time. And I could just leave her to do it and go do something else, right? Again, increasing the quality and how I'm using my time. Or I could hover over her and then when she's done, touch up. That doesn't make any sense. So outsource where you can. Now, I have a friend that she is not a super fan of going to the supermarket. To her, it's super time consuming. She has 4 children and going to the supermarket is not run in and grab milk and bread and run out. It's like a full on shopping for the military because she has such a big family. So she decided to make the investment and outsource through Hannaford to do the delivery. So she does her groceries on the app. She pays the little extra. They drop it off at her house. And the amount of time that she saves in having to go to the supermarket, do all this massive grocery, come home, put it all away, it just saves her so much time. So when it gets dropped off, now the kids know. She'll say, pay attention because they're dropping off the groceries, and the kids put everything away. She's outsourced or delegated that responsibility to someone else in her life, right? One, we have to be real about the fact that we take on too much and say it out loud to ourselves and others, because if we don't say it out loud, they believe that we're fine in doing this all the time because we never say anything different. And then two, block our time, what we find to be the most important priorities. Make sure you're blocking those. And then, that's 1A and 1B. And then two, what can you outsource? What do you not have to do? If you know, and this sounds silly, but if you know that you have to go get gas and you're going to stand there at the pump, or you can go to a full service station and answer 2 emails or call your sister back. Check. You're getting gas, you're outsourcing, someone else is doing that for you, and you're making that call, right? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like these little ways that we can create margins of time, basically. All right, and then the N in bonus is the reminder that no is a full sentence. I prefer to say no, thank you, because it's just better manners, but no is a full sentence. So say no. And we have to practice saying no in small spaces in order to get to and build up that muscle that we can say no in bigger spaces. For instance, I am in my bedroom. My sister is in the kitchen. She is closer to the living room. She yells to me to grab her something from the living room. I, wanting to be a helper, pop up, run to the living room. I'm doing something. I'm busy. I pop up, I run to the living room, grab her the remote, bring it to the kitchen, and she's sitting there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I can be mad at her all I want, but the reality is that I have conditioned her that I will do that. So now I'm going to change the programming. I say to her, I realize that I pop up when people are asking me to do stuff, and I just run and do it, and I try to squeeze it in. But I was literally in the middle of something, and you're just on TikTok. So yeah, next time I'm going to say no, like a little disclaimer. And then the next time that she asked me to do something that was kind of like that, I'm like, no. And guess what happened? She got up and did it herself. And whether she got in a mood or had an attitude, I don't know. I wasn't in the same room as her. It's not my business though. What is my business is creating my boundaries and then holding them firmly, right? When we hold the line, we teach people how to treat us by what we say and do and what we don't say and do. So it's important that we hold the line. All things begin and end with us. You, when possible, use your village, right? Use your partner, use your children, use your community, use your village and your tribe. A lot of times people will come to us and say, why didn't you call me? And we have decided that their life is busy, so we can't bother them. But they literally gave us the in, right? I remember one time I was going through a situation when my daughter was younger, and I was just really overwhelmed with being a 24/7 mom, working all the time, taking care of all the moving parts, right? And I met up with a friend and I couldn't stop crying. And she's like, what is wrong? I'm like, I'm just so tired and I have so much all the time. And she said, why didn't you call me? I told you to call me. And I said, well, you're so busy. And she says, oh, isn't it nice to know that you are the facilitator of my life schedule? That smacked me. And I thought, oh, right. If I call her and she says no because she literally can't at that moment, it was already no. But if I call her and she says yes, a little bit of peace and ease, right? We have to remember that we are communal. And people offer us their time and their energy for a reason. Most of the time it's because they care about us and they want to support us. And if we act like we have it all together, they believe that we have it all together and they stop offering, or they offer and we brush it off because we want to pretend that we have it all together. You want to create better work-life balance? Use your tribe, use your village, use your community, right? And I know as a mom that can be really hard because I'm the mom and they're my kids and I have to do all the things, but you're a better mom when you take time for yourself. You're a better mom when you delegate responsibilities. You're a better, right? So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that we're using the opportunities to use our village and not just when we're completely overwhelmed and at our breaking point. And then finally, S. S is stop comparing yourself and your lives to others. You've probably heard the adage, on Instagram or on social media, we compare our background life to their highlight reels, right? Our behind the scenes life to their highlight reels. And even if that's not true, even if they're posting their messy messes, well, we still compare. We still compare and we feel like there's a competition. Well, you're not crazy. The competition is created by society, it's imposed by society, and it's imposed by social media. The beauty industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry because they're telling you everything that's wrong with you because you don't match some other woman or some other moving standard, which PS, she doesn't even look like that. It's probably photoshopped. But aside from that, because we're in a constant state of competition, whether we choose to participate or not is what makes it a competition. We are spending a lot of time comparing ourselves to other people and then thinking that we need to look and act and be a certain way. During the workshop, during the keynote last week, I talked about this idea of letting go of the perception of perfection, right? And a lot of that comes from comparing. When I say mind your business, I literally mean mind your business. If you are on a platform, a social media page, an account that makes you, where you feel, I was gonna say makes you feel bad about yourself, but nothing can make you without your consent, Eleanor Roosevelt, right? That you feel like you're comparing, you need to get off of that platform, that account, that space immediately until you've built up your own fortitude to look at it and be inspired and not look at it and be jealous. To look at it and say, oh, I have something to aspire to. Oh, if she can do it, I can do it, right? To do that versus, oh my God, I have to do all of these things to keep up with her. No, you don't. No, you don't. And this might sound crazy, but what if you just looked at her and was happy for whatever she had going on versus feeling like it meant something about you? That's exhausting. That's an exhausting place to be, an exhausting place to live. I don't know that I would even call it living. It's just plain exhausting, right? And until we can build up this internal strength, this knowing that we are worthy, that we are deserving, that we are good enough, that we are doing the best we can, until we can build that up and let that be the operating story that we run off of, we're going to look at her and compare and compete. So get yourself away from those spaces. And as much as possible, when you find yourself comparing, because we all do it from time to time, or for some of us more often than not, right? When you find yourself there, pause and then say out loud, I'm happy for her and I'm doing the best I can. I recognize that I'm comparing myself when I come here, so I'm going to stop coming here for a while, right? Do yourself the favor. So, recap. Be vulnerable and honest with your people. Let them know where you're at and what you need. And part B is block your time for what you say are your priorities. O, outsource where you can. N, no is a full sentence. U, use your village and your tribe. And then S, stop comparing yourself to other people and other people's lives. So it's not as short as I thought it would be, but I feel like it's so delicious. I hope that this was beneficial for you. If you know someone who can benefit from it, you can go ahead and share it. And that's it. I'm sending you this with an email that gives you an opportunity to sign up for my newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get my weekly videos that I put out and any bonus content like this, but this is just for you ladies. And anytime I'm speaking at a public event, I'll post that as well. Or if I have anything coming up, I'll post that so that you're just in the know and you're aware. I also give deals to my members. If I'm running an event, the members who follow the page get deals and discounts. And yeah, lots of love in your inbox. Lots of love, lots of light, lots of nuggets that hopefully, as they have helped me move the needle in my life, 1 degree at a time to healthier and happier, healthier and happier. And every time you think you've got there, you level up. It's so yummy. I'm hoping that it can do the same for you. If you have any questions, you can email me back, or you can, reach out on my Facebook, my website. I couldn't think for a moment. All right, I gotta go because I got blocked time and I got things to take care of. I'm sending you love and light, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mwah!